people, so today I thought I would do a video about something I think is quite important. I have got my book again, sorry, it's just so it doesn't get all muddled because I do get all muddled sometimes. And I would like to say I don't want to offend anybody with what I say in this video. I'm just saying it because it's something I personally believe and I personally experience. I think it's kind of just to raise a bit more awareness, if you know what I mean. So I want to talk about how easy or not so easy it is to get help with eating disorders. So to be perfectly honest with me, I feel they failed me slightly because the amount of years me and my mum went to doctors to try and tell them that I had a very unhealthy relationship with food and that I was a very anxious and I guess you could say depressed individual, but each occasion they just made excuses all the time, if you know what I mean. So one of them was, it's just a phase. Another doctor said there's enough problems in the world without me causing any, which is exactly what I'm doing, so I need to stop. I was just doing it for attention in a way to manipulate and be selfish. Or they said they'd keep an eye on it and see how things went, but they never actually kept an eye on it, if you know what I mean. So I guess what I'm trying to say is help isn't easy because they make you feel like you're not ill enough. Like, I feel people only ever get involved when you're at the point of going into hospital and nearly dying because of it. But at the end of the day, doctors have got to remember eating disorders aren't a physical illness, they're a mental illness with physical consequences, and at any point, doesn't matter if you're not underweight, you may still have an eating disorder, and I still do think you deserve the help. But because doctors aren't so willing to help you, I think your eating disorder then gets a far bigger control over you because it makes you think, oh, I'm not ill enough, there's nothing wrong with me, I can just carry on, this is a normal relationship with food, when necessarily it's not. You do deserve help at any point and you do deserve to get better, and I think the way eating disorders are handled, you feel stupid for even mentioning it. I am quite lucky to have found a doctor who genuinely cares about me and has fought my battles so much for me. He's pushed for all the appointments. He's kept weekly checkups on me to make sure I'm not going down. It's only because of him that the eating disorder people got involved with me. Say, albeit it's mainly because I nearly ended up in hospital. Like I said, people only tend to get involved when you're about to go into hospital because you could possibly die. But it's quite sad to think that there's a lack of people who will help, and I really do think that needs to change. Even when you are getting support, it's not necessarily the best. And I'm not saying this in a nasty way because I don't want to be nasty to my care coordinator, but I'm meant to have a care coordinator who calls me on a weekly basis, sees me every 2 weeks, and I don't particularly see her very often. She doesn't call me, and when she has turned up to my house, you can just quite obviously tell she doesn't want to be here and she's just waiting to go and she doesn't care. And I don't think, I personally find it good talking and opening up to someone who you can tell doesn't care, if you know what I mean. So I feel professionals need to get more involved because like I said before, it's not a physical illness, it's a mental illness which needs to be solved. You could have an eating disorder and be extremely underweight. You could have an eating disorder and be a normal weight. You could have an eating disorder and be overweight. You could be a boy and have an eating disorder. You can be a girl who has an eating disorder. You can be a child, you can be an adult. It's not specific to one people, and I don't see why professionals need to stereotype it so much. And not all people with eating disorders do it as a weight thing. Some people do it as a control thing. And some people do it because they can't deal with stress, but doctors aren't willing to help with your stress. Just because, like, oh, I don't know. I think just because you don't show the physical signs, I do still think you need to get the help, because at the end of the day you do have an unhealthy relationship with food, and it's probably going to end up you going down to a really bad physical place. And you should never be made to feel like you're not ill enough. You shouldn't have to wait until a point where you could end up dead. I think what this video is trying to put across, even though it's completely muddled and blabbery, is professionals need to approach mental health in a better way, because people feel so alone and desperate and they're just not getting the help. But if you feel you are struggling and you've pushed with doctors and you're getting nowhere, and you ever feel like you don't understand something that's going on with you, or you just feel like you need to talk to somebody about something to try and, I don't know, make yourself feel a bit better and relaxed, I am always here. You can always write comments, and if you wanted any of my social media so you can send me a message or something, I'm here to listen and answer any questions that you may have. I just don't want people to feel alone like I've felt alone, and I don't want people to think they don't deserve help, because you all do deserve help. And don't let your eating disorder tell you you're not ill enough and you're fine and everything's normal, because if you're fixated and focusing on food and worrying and stressing about food, you most likely do have an unhealthy relationship with food, and you do need help, and you need to sort that mindset out. So leave any comments below of stuff you want to know, or if you want any help, just leave comments below and I will write them down as soon as possible and try and help you as much as I can. So I will try and do another video this week, and I also hope the quality of this video is a bit better, because I have just purchased a camera. So if it's a bit muddled, it's because I'm trying to get used to this. But yeah, I will talk to you in the next video. Stay strong, and remember, you are all gorgeous.